Hi friends, good morning. Welcome back to another session. The design and analysis problems on angle struts from compression members. Today, in the previous classes we have seen the procedure for what is the design compressive stress for angle struts, how to solve. We have seen one flow chart regarding a single angle strut with continuous and discontinuous, axially loaded and non-axial loading, and we have solved one problem also. Today we'll try to solve a double angle discontinuous connected on same side of gusset plate. So I'm writing the question. Find the design compressive strength of discontinuous double angle strut consisting of two angles, okay, ISA 75 by 50 by 6 mm of length 1.5 meters and are placed back to back and connected to same side of gusset plate, same side of gusset plate of 10 mm thick at both ends by fillet weld. Gusset fixity may be taken as fixed and take yield stress as 250 MPa. This is the question given. Now this is discontinuous. Okay, next it is two angles connected on same side of gusset plate. Means gusset plate is of 10 mm thick, to that this is 75 and this is 50 and each thickness is 6 mm. This is the position. Now here total compressive strength will be equals to 2 into strength of each angle. Why you have to write like this? Because in steel table the details of angle of one angle will be there. Now if I go back to our previous condition, okay, this one, case 3, discontinuous, angles on same side of gusset plate, the effective length will be equals to L. So effective length equals to L, which is equals to 1.5 meters. So 1500 mm. Now gusset fixity may be taken as fixed. Gusset fixity may be taken as fixed. So for this you have to visit table number 12, page number I think 48. We'll see now. Table number 12, page number 48. Now if I visit table number 12, sorry, it is a not late. If I go for page number, so here the gusset fixity values, if you take, here is for fixed condition, K1 is 0.20, K2 is 0.35 and K3 is 20. Okay, and we all know the formulas pertaining to this is, what is that? Equivalent slenderness ratio. So before going to that one, first we'll try to write the properties. Okay, that is geometrical properties of given section. ISA 75 by 50 by 6 mm. So first area, we required what? Mainly area and R minimum, right? So this is the steel table angle section, and see 75 by 55 by 6 mm. What is the area? 716. Okay, so 716 mm square. Coming to here, it is moment of inertia. We required, see, first you see this one in this column, second one. So in this column ISA 75, second one. So you see these values 1 2 3 4. Okay, RVV, which one is less? This one is less. Okay, how much it is? 1.07 centimeters means 10.7 mm. 10.7 mm. This is the given data. Now what is the formula? That is equivalent slenderness ratio, lambda E is equals to under root of K1 plus K2 into lambda VV square plus K3 into lambda phi square. This is the formula. Okay, now even though if E Now in this value, while calculating, epsilon equals to 250 by Fi to the power of 1 by 2. What is 250? Fi is given as 250. Okay, now 250 by 250 is 1. 1 to the power of anything, it will be 1 only. Now we'll calculate lambda Vv. Okay, so first of all, what is lambda Vv equals to L by R Vv by epsilon into pi square E by 250. Okay, next, what is lambda phi b1 plus b2 by 2t by epsilon into pi square E by 250. Now L is given, everything is given. Now if I substitute here for lambda Vv, 1500 by 10.7 by epsilon is 1 into root of E means what? 2 into 10 power 5. So this is what? Pi square E into E is not given, but for still it is 2 into 10 power 5 divided by 250, and lambda phi equals to b1 is what? 75 plus b2 is 50 by 2 into 6 mm by 1 into under root of pi square into 2 into 10 power 5 divided by 250. Okay, now if I solve these individually, first I solve this one. Okay, 1500, I will solve it clearly. So in the numerator 140.186 divided by pi square, so pi square, sorry, shift to pi square into 2 into e power 5 divided by 250 root of answer into 1. So complete this is 88.85. Next, what is this one? Bottom one, it is same, right? So I can write here 88.85. Now what is top one? 75 plus 50, b1 plus b2 by 2t. 2 into 6 means 12 mm. Okay, so how much it is? 10.416. Now if I solve 140.186 divided by 88.85, so I got it, this as 1.578 and 10.416 divided by 88.85, so this is 0.11. Okay, now if I substitute these values, now I got lambda 5 Vv and lambda 5. So lambda E equivalent slenderness ratio formula I am writing once again, K1 plus K2 into lambda Vv square plus K3 into lambda 5 square. Now if I substitute here every value, what is K1 value from table 12? 0.20 plus 0.35 into root of, not root, 1.578 square plus 20 into 0.11 square. Okay, so 1.578 square into 0.35 plus 20 into 0.11 square plus 0.20 root of answer. So lambda you got as 1 point something is missing, right? Once again, 125 divided by 12 divided by 88.85. Okay, I will solve this once again. cos 1500 divided by 10.7 divided by 88.85. So okay, these values are very good, right? 0.2 plus 0.35 into 0.578 square plus 20 into 0.11 square root of answer. So 1.146 is lambda. Now equating equivalent slenderness ratio with what? Lambda E with non-dimensional slenderness ratio, lambda. Okay, that is, what is this lambda? That is, I have to write lambda equals to lambda, which is 1.146, which is equals to under root of fi into kl by r whole square by pi square e. Now first what you have to do? You have to do squaring on both sides. So 1.146 square is equals to, if I square on both sides, here it will be a square and here root will be gone. So fi into kl by r square by pi square into a. In that what we are required? Kl by r. That is kl by r equals to 1.146 square into this one pi square into what is e? 2 into 10 power 5 divided by fi. What is fi? 250. Okay, so 1.146 into pi square into 2 into e power 5 divided by 250. This is what? KL by R square equals to this one. Therefore KL by R equals to under root of so 95.12. This is the slenderness ratio value. Okay, now you have to visit table number 9C for FCD. Why especially table number 9C? Why table number 9C only? Because any angle section or any built-up section which comes under buckling class C. So for that table number 9C. Okay, now we'll do that one. Now KL by R value you obtained is 95.12. So now we visit table number 9C for FCD value, as I said you. Now Fi 250 MPa. Okay, and here KL by R value, if I go, it will be remained in 90 and 100. For this 90 and 100, what is the FCD values? We will see from this what code book. So right, this is table number 9C for 100 and 90, and it is 250. For 90 it is 105, and for 100 it is 92.6. 105 and it is 92.6. We required at a 95.12. So what? Interpolation. 105 minus of 105 minus 92.6 divided by 100 minus 90 into 95.12 minus 90. So if I solve this, 95.12 minus 90 into 105 minus 95.6 divided by 10. Okay, 105 minus answer. So I get 100.187 Newton per mm square. So this is the stress FCD. Now design strength. PD equals to so AE into FCD, this is common, but here we have dealt with what? Double angle, so into 2. So 2 into AE 1716 into FCD 100.187. So how much it is? 143.46 kilonewtons. So this is the maximum strength it can take. Okay, this is double angle connected on same side of gusset plate. Next case we'll see the another method, another problem, that is calculate the design compressive stress, strength of a built up section made up of discontinuous double angle consisting of two angles ISA 90 by 60 by 10 mm. Okay, connected on either side of thick gusset plate. 12 mm thick gusset plate. Take Fi as 250 MPa and length of column as 3.5 meters. Both ends of the column is hinged. Okay, this is the problem. Now here what is the case we'll see now. One second. Now discontinuous double angle on either side. Okay, discontinuous, right? Same side we have done on either side of gusset plate. So what is that? You will be having KLZ and KLY. KLY you can take as same L and KLZ you can take in as 0.7 to 0.85 L. Okay, now this problem will be, design will be similar to normal I section what we done earlier. Okay, so this is 12 mm thick gusset plate on that 90 mm by 60. Either side they are connected on either side. and this is what 60, right? Now first, effective length of discontinuous double angle strut is that is KL by Z. Okay, I will take maximum into L. So what is this 0.85 into 3500? Okay, so 0.85 into 3500, 2975 mm. This is nothing but called as a length in the plane of gusset plate, means this plane, in plane of gusset plate, means parallel to gusset plate. Okay, next KLY, which will be equals to L, that is how much? Directly 3500. This is called as what? Perpendicular to plane of gusset plate. This is parallel and this is perpendicular. Now see here, it is a built up section. So previous one also a built up section, but that comes and acts as a single unit because they have been connected on the same side of gusset plate, right? Okay, so here it is what? Connected on either side of gusset plate. Now you have to calculate radius of gyration for a built up section. So first of all, what is the radius of gyration for a built up section? Under root of I by A, right? Now radius of gyration for ZZ axis, RZZ equals to what? Under root of IZZ by A. Now what is IZZ? Now if I write IZZ by A, here two angles means into 2, okay, into 2. See, for the whole section or for individual I sections, x-axis is same, but for y-axis, the whole section y-axis is like this, and for this section y-axis is like this, and y-axis is like this. Okay, so this is similar, means it can be taken directly from the steel table, RZZ value, because being the axis same for single or built up. Okay, whereas for IYY you are supposed to calculate the moment of inertia. Okay, if you have much knowledge on concepts of this engineering mechanics, it will be very easy for you. And so this is angle section 90 by 60 by what we are dealing with 10 mm. So for that RZZ, how much it is? 28.1. It is how much? 28.1. Okay, why? Even though it is double angles, we are taking only single one. Why? The reason is the x-axis being constant for the whole section or individual sections. Okay, so for that reason, right? Next, this is about ZZ axis. Next, about YY axis. About YY axis, that is RYY equals to under root of IYY by A. Now what is this IYY? It will be differing because, so here moment of inertia of built up section about YY axis. Okay, so what happens? IYY equals to 2. So IYY of single angle, okay, plus area of that one into CYY plus half of gusset plate thickness, half of gusset plate, means from here to here you have to H, this is H. Now I know this one, this is CYY, but you have to take from middle of the gusset plate, so half of the gusset plate. Okay, now what is this moment of inertia IYY for a single angle section? That is 90 by, this is 60. Okay, 90 by 60 by 10 mm. The moment of inertia about YY axis is how much? 39.1. So 39.1 into 10 power 4 plus what is the area given? 1401 area 01 into what is CYY? See, first of all, what is CYY? This is CYY. Okay, so CYY is given as what? 15.5. So 15.5 plus half of the gusset plate. What is the gusset plate thickness is given as 12 mm. So 12 by 2 square. So if I solve this, so 15.5 plus 12 by 2 means 6 square into 1401 plus 39.1 into e power 4 into 2. So you are getting how much? I said you earlier, it has to be written in terms of 10 power 4 into 10 power 4 mm power 4, right? Now RYY equals to under root of IYY of built up section by A by, now 207.72 into 10 power 4, that is, this is for whole built up section by area 1404 into 2 you have to take, into 2. So divided by 2 into 1401, root of answer you will be getting 27.22, okay, mm. This one is directly from code book, right? Steel table. Now what is the next one? You have to calculate effective slenderness ratio. You have to calculate both, okay, that is KLZ by RZZ and KLY by RYY. Now what is KLZ? 2975 divided by 28.1. Next here KLY by RYY is 3500 by 27.22. Okay, 2975 divided by 28.1, so you are getting as 105.87. okay, next 3500 divided by 27.22, so 128.58. now which one should be chosen? For minimum FCD values you have to choose, for minimum FCD value, for getting minimum FCD value, choose maximum slenderness ratio, that is 128.58. okay, 128.58. Next, 128.58. So for KL by R, that is KLY by RYY 128.58 and Fi equals to 250 MPa. Okay, FCD equals to how much? So for this, table number 9C, since it is a angle strut and built up member, okay, therefore as per table 10 page number 44, the buckling class for the section is what? C. Therefore visit table number 9C. Okay, now when KL by R is equals to 128.58, means it lies between 120 and 130. For what is the FCD value for a particular FIS 250 MPa? Now for that one, you visit table number 9C. 120 it is 73 and 130 it is 65.2. Okay, now you have to do interpolation. So 73 from here to its decrement, so minus of 73 minus 65.2 divided by 130 minus 120 into 128.58 minus 120. Okay, so 73 minus 65.2 divided by 130 minus of 120 into 128.58 minus 120, 73 minus answer. So I am getting how much? 66.30 Newton per mm square. Now see here, this value what you are obtaining here, it should lie in between these two. Now see here, and one more thing, 65, 66, these two are very near, so the value you should get near to this one, this near to this one and less than this one, like that you have to check. Okay, therefore design compressive strength PD. Okay, PD equals to AE into FCD. Since it is two members, so into 2 into 2. So how much it is? 2 into what is AE? 1401 into FCD you arrived as 66.30. okay, so 2 into 1401 into 66.30, right? So how much you are getting? 185 point, okay, 185 point. Actually, what is FC is FI is given. 1 second. 250, right? So 185.772 kilonewtons. Okay, this is the maximum load the member ISA 90 by 60 by 10 mm. That is, you have to write the statement there. Therefore, the given double angle discontinuous strut ISA 90 by 60 by 10 mm can take connected on either side of gusset plate can take maximum compressive strength of 185.77 kilonewtons. Like this, if you write the statement, it will be our presentation will be very perfect in the examination. So you may expect this in essay type examinations, and we have seen all these are what analysis problems only. Okay, still we have, and one more thing we have seen is double angle discontinuous on the same side. Means if I go back to this one, this is very important. So here we have done this problem, and in this we've done both problems. Means we have completed case 2 problem, that is loading through one leg, discontinuous, equivalent slenderness ratio based upon, and this one also same, angles on same side. Next, angles on either side, that is either side of gusset plate we have done. Now what you have seen, the observation is non-axial load and double angle discontinuous angles connected on same side of gusset plate. The problem solution is, procedure is same, that is equivalent slenderness ratio concept. Whereas if I go for double angle discontinuous angles connected on either side of gusset plate, this problem is similar to the problem what we done earlier, that is for I section. Okay, and like that. In that, this is a built up section, and see here, as I explained you, x-axis is for single angle or this angle or whole section, built up section, whereas y-axis for this section is here, and this section is here, and whole section is here. So that is the reason we are going to calculate differently, that is moment of inertia, whereas for x-axis we are taking as usual from the steel table, and we are calculating just like our problem. What we done here is this one, directly you have taken this from steel table. If I take also value, because being this one, whereas the moment of inertia build up section of y axis I have calculated, means axes are different for the whole section and the individual section. If I only consider this angle section, the IYY is like this, and if I consider the whole section, the IYY, whereas x-axis, so that is the reason this one. So all these are not new for this subject, but this concept is already dealt in your engineering mechanics. If you have any doubt regarding this one, you can refer your engineering mechanics textbook. So after that you have calculated RYY. After that you have gone for the effective slenderness ratio, KLZ by RZZ and KLY by RYY. So based upon this one, based upon our previous problems, we have done that to get a minimum FCD value, you have to take a maximum slenderness ratio. So from here, these two maximum is this one. So based upon that one, the FCD value we have calculated from table number 9C. As I said you, especially as per table 10 of page number 44, always the buckling class will be C for angle sections or built up sections. So we are dealing with angle sections and it is a built up section. For that reason, you have to visit always 9C, and you have taken the FCD values for the particular values of KL by R, which is in between these two, and you have calculated the FCD values. And here while calculating, don't get to forget that when you are doing with double angle into 2. If it is single angle, it's well and good. Okay, so thank you for watching my video. In the next class, we'll go for more problems on the double angle continuous struts.